Hey everyone, I'm Ryan, you're watching 60 Cycle Hum, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you this Mooer GTRS P-800. And you might be asking yourself, Ryan, didn't you already cover one of these? Well, I kinda did. I covered the S-800. This is a more premium version of this. Otherwise, they have the same GTRS integrated kind of technological thing here, multi-effect thing built into the guitar. But there are some big differences in hardware and build quality in between the P-800 and the S-800. So let's start going through those right now. You know what? Let's put this up here just so we can have an easy visual reference. So I'll go tip to tail on the P-800 so you can see every little part that is different from the S-800. And honestly, I think at the end of this, I think we're all gonna decide that this is the one to get. It really is. It's really not much more expensive than the S-800. On Amazon right now, these are like $140 more than this. I don't know if the prices will fluctuate in the future, but these are $799, I think, and these are $659. I hope I'm remembering that correctly. But anyways, starting at the headstock, you've got locking tuners on here with an 18:1 gear ratio. I don't know the gear ratio on this guitar, but it just has your standard kind of closed back tuners on there. It also has a more premium roller string tree. They really just went more premium across all the hardware. The S-800 has a very standard kind of punched string tree. I'll put up close-up photos of this stuff. You guys can't see from that far away. I don't know if the nut material is different. This feels like some sort of like graphite composite sort of thing. It might actually be bone on the S-800. I'm not sure, but it's cut very well. This thing's super duper tuning stable, even with all the dive bombing that I do on this bridge and whatnot. Flamey wood on the back of this neck, really nice kind of depth to it, a little bit of flame, a little bit of like tiger striping. It looks beautiful. Some kind of baked maple sort of thing. Much more flat, standard, but still baked maple sort of piece of wood on the S-800. The frets, stainless steel frets on the P-800. Regular nickel frets, as far as I'm aware, they have that duller kind of like nickel look to them, where these have that very bright and shiny stainless steel thing going on. And I personally can't tell a difference, tonally while playing a guitar between stainless steel and nickel or whatever. But I always notice that the feel of the string like has this little ting that's a little bit different on stainless steel. Rosewood fretboard, of course, on both of them. The P-800 has noiseless singles, where this has, honestly, still great sounding Alnico 5 singles. I think they're Alnico 5. What if I get that detail wrong? The humbuckers on both sound great. They do sound different. They are different humbuckers. This is an open coil thing. This is a covered humbucker. Otherwise, as far as the electronics go, I'm assuming they're exactly the same. Volume, tone, 5-way switch, and of course the built-in multi-effects thing here. They went with a different bridge, and there's a couple reasons why I like that. I don't usually like this Wilkinson style bridge, but this is the best dialed in version of that bridge that I've ever used. It's nice and fluttery and smooth. I can get like Jazzmaster-ish with kind of smooth little flutters on here. Of course, I can dive it as well. Here's a big thing for me. Look at how far the bar sticks off of the body initially here, that first little turn. The bridge that comes on the S-800, that little turn is really, really close to the body, and it can actually, get interrupted by the volume knob if it's in the wrong place, keeping you from dive bombing all the way. You probably don't want to dive bomb all the way, but still, that's a little bit annoying to me. This is a more standard, like punch daddle sort of bridge on here with this, while this has that kind of more modern Wilkinson sort of thing. But yeah, I've really been admiring just how great this bridge feels dialed in. And I think what I need to do is I need to make a lot of really delicate adjustments and try to copy the setup on this onto my Harley Benton Mosrite style thing back there, because it has the same exact bridge, but it does not feel like this. It's the way that it's dialed in, the height of the saddles or something like that. I'm going to try to figure it out because this feels excellent. Other than that, I think the difference is color. And honestly, this one wins for color. I wish they did the heavy metal flake on the P-800 because, I mean, look at this. This finish is just beautiful, and I wish more guitars had these heavy, heavy metal flake, sparkly, glittery sorts of finishes on them. So anyways, let's plug it in and start showing off the sounds. I want to show this off as a regular guitar first, and then I'll get into all this sorts of stuff later in the video. Of course, I'm going to start out using the Two Princeton's rig. All right, that's enough of that. Let's get started. I'm going to show you the sounds of all the different pickup settings, and then later after that, I'll talk about how the guitar feels and how it plays and kind of, you know, the fret dressing and things like that. And then we'll start getting into that built-in multi-effect, which I've actually been using in a different way, a way that didn't occur to me when I first covered the S-800 here. So stay tuned for that little nugget of inventive goodness. It's not that surprising. It's something that should occur to everyone. So anyways, here is the bridge humbucker. It sounds like a humbucker. It's got a nice personality to it. It's nice and clear and bright if you want it to be. As far as humbuckers go anyways, it still has that kind of like humbuckery bark to it. Moving on to the number 2 position, the humbucker and the middle together. Some nice twang there. On to the middle position. These are supposed to be noiseless singles. There's still a little bit of noise there. There it is in the middle. And there it is, fully noise canceling in the number 4 position. But they are quieter singles than what you find in the S-800 here. So I believe there is some noise canceling going on. It's just not 100% perfectly strong. On to the number 4 position. Classic Strat sound right there. I love how wacky this trim can get. On to the neck pickup. Try it with a little surf reverb. We'll work our way backwards through the pickups. Here is the number 4 position. like the feel of that bridge. Here is the number 2 position. And of course the bridge. Now let's do some overdrive stuff. I've got the warm audio warm drive on the floor here. Pull back the volume on that a little bit. That is on the neck pickup. Here is the number 4. On to the middle position. Number 2. And the bridge. Let's work our way back. I'm going to stack the Wampler Bell overdrive into that as well. You know what? Let's isolate the Wampler Bell. We don't need to stack them. Here's the number 2 position. The middle. Number 4. Sounds like I put it out of tune. It does the thing. It's got some really great classic sounding pickups in there. It gives you that quack, it gives you that sparkle, it gives you that chunky push from the bridge humbucker. I think the Fat Strat layout is the most versatile pickup layout that there is. It's like, I could recommend this sort of layout, a humbucker in the bridge and then 2 singles, to anyone getting their first electric guitar. It should be like the standard, honestly, in my opinion. It should be the standard beginner electric guitar layout. I'm not calling this a beginner electric guitar because it flat out is not. But yeah, Fat Strats, they give you a lot. They give you a lot of flavors to work with. But anyways, yeah, I think the pickups sound great. I have no problem with it at all. You know, those are sounds that I use, that I chase, that when I find them in guitars, I'm like, oh yeah, those are the sounds that I want. So good job, Mooer. These pickups sound excellent. Anything I want to say before I get into this business here? The neck feels very comfortable. The frets are well dressed. Nothing sharp or pointy about them. Really well polished. You know, they're not a hyper premium fret, but at the price point, they're more than Mooer than fair for what you're getting. Like they're really nicely done. I've found zero quality control issues on this guitar so far. I've had it around for, embarrassingly, probably like 2 months. I've been really behind on demos, so this has been around for quite a while, and I've been playing around with it around the house. Okay, let's get into what I've done with the built-in multi-effects software here. You can build in the app like full-on presets, like full-on amp and cab sim presets that you just plug in your headphones and you jam on the couch, or you plug straight into your computer and record, or straight into front of house, plug into a PA, and that's your rig. The entire guitar is your entire rig. Well, I like the rest of my rig, and I don't want to replace my amps or my pedal board or things like that. I want to keep using that stuff because I like it. And totally honestly, this is fun. It's a fun practice tool for amp and cab stuff, but the sounds aren't up to snuff for what I want when I'm gigging, when I'm playing on stage, even when I'm recording. But as like a practice tool, as a jamming tool, sure, it sounds totally fine for that. It's great for that. Like, I'm not going to use products like the Fender Micro Mustang Live. I'm not going to use the Boss GT Pocket. I forget the model number. I'm not going to use the Boss Pocket GT for live use. You definitely could, and you can definitely use this for live use. But, you know, my preferences are a little bit pickier than that. But I realized that I could make my own presets that don't have the amp or cab settings turned on. So I can use this just as onboard effects. And that's exactly what I've done here. You turn it on by twisting the knob until it clicks. And then it needs a moment to boot up, like 5 seconds or something like that. Let's figure out what preset I'm on. This is my surf preset, of course. You turn the knob for volume control. It's not a perfect surf setting, but it definitely gets me there. Let's move on to the next setting. This is like a chorus and a reverse delay and some sort of modulated reverb. What am I doing there? Next setting is blank. Why do I do that? Because I don't want to turn it off and have to boot it back on if I want to use another effect. So I have just a blank setting there. Smart, right? And then it goes to this setting, which is a boost. And I'm going to demonstrate this by turning that warm drive back on. Let's go back to that blank setting. There it is without the boost. Here it is with the boost. Let's turn it all the way up. Turn it down if you want. Oh, I found the bottom. Let's try it with a bell. Roll it back. Yeah, something like that. Just a simple use of a simple utility effect like a boost, I think is a really smart way of using something like this that's built into the Mooer GTRS. Using a multi-effect built into a guitar for simple utility effects like a boost, a compressor, maybe a little splash of reverb, or maybe a little bit of dirt from one of the drives or something, just gives you some option from the face of your guitar. I think there's something to that. I don't think everyone wants to have a full-blown guitar processor just plug into the PA sort of solution with their guitar, but that, I think people will get some ideas thinking about that. So anyways, let's fire up the phone and we'll look at the rest of the app. I'm not going to spend my entire life here going through every part of it because I already did that with the S-800 video. Go watch that video if you want to see me really deep dive into this thing. I had to switch up my recording rig because I'm running this completely different now. I am plugged directly in to my field recorder over here. I'm not running through amps. I'm not running through my pedal board, nothing like that. Just direct in, and I'm monitoring with my headphones. So I'm going to show you how to connect this. One of my complaints when covering the S-800 here was that the app isn't immediately intuitive. It's a little bit tricky to figure out. I actually had to call Colin Scott as like an emergency phone call. Like, Colin, you already demoed this guitar. How did you get into the app? I can't figure it out. So this part is easy. You press connect, it finds the guitar, and you are connected. But from here, after it's done loading, I got pretty confused. We're almost there. There we go. I didn't know, do I go into folders? Do I go into the sliders? I thought definitely the sliders are the way to go. Or like the wrench thing is the wrench thing. But then this is where I really got confused. Like, what do I do from here? I was clicking all this stuff. I was clicking all this stuff, trying to get into where I could build presets. It's this little button down here, the icon for the knob on the guitar, because of course it is. You click that, and now you can get into the presets and building and editing presets. And so let's take a look around. Here we have my utility effects loaded right now. The boost, the trim verb, the ambient, and the empty, the blank slot. Let's go to a preset that has amps on it. One of the stock presets. Here we go, Texas Blues. That's a good one. Start out on the neck pickup here. Bridge. I'm just noodling. I don't know what I'm playing here. Let's tune it really quick. We'll go here to the settings, and there is a tuner. What else do we have in this bank? Modern blues. Back to the bridge. EJ lead. I'm assuming that means Eric Johnson lead. What next? Trim clean. Let's use that as a jumping off point to do some tweaking here. So what do we have amp-wise? Well, we'll turn off the trim and the delay. Amp-wise, we've got a US bassman. We can tweak all sorts of settings. Let's crank the gain up a little bit. Turn up the bass if we want. There's mids, treble, presence, and master on here. Let's check out the cab. A US bass 4x10. There are all kinds of cabs to choose from. Also, I haven't messed with it yet because I don't do that sort of thing on any of my digital products, but you can load your own sound samples, like your own IRs or something like that. I have no idea how that functions, but that's a newer setting. That's a new feature on the GTRS app. So if you do that sort of stuff, go check the manuals, go check for information on that, but I never mess with any of that. We'll leave the cab what it is. I'll show you how many amps there are too. Low gain, high gain, and then, sound samples that you can load yourself. Lots of amps. 29 low gain amps. 23 high gain amps. Plenty to work with there. We've got an OD on here, the Pure Boost, a Flex Boost. You've got a bunch of overdrive pedals. There is a gold claw in here. This guitar is only $799 according to Amazon today. That's an incredible deal, guys. There's a Klon Centaur in here. Those things go for thousands of dollars. Fuzz and distortion, a bunch of those as well. Let's get crazy and put, let's put the Muffy on. Shred setting sounds pretty good. If I could play it good. Let's mess around with some other stuff here. We've got dynamics. I want to put the touch wah in here. There's a noise gate, a comp, a touch wah, and an auto wah. I like touch wah. And that's one of those effects that would just be so fun and so smart to just store as a single effect on your presets on your guitar. You don't want to dedicate a space on your pedal board for an auto filter. Just keep it on your guitar. And you can change the order of everything. If you want to get in trouble and put your amp after your cab for some dumb reason, you could do it, but that's silly. But I'm going to put the dynamic in front of the amp. I'll move that OD after the amp again. have here? We have modulations. Turn that on. Lot to choose from. Phaser, step phaser, flange, jet flange, and so on, all the way down. Rotary. Let's try rotary. And of course, you can tweak all the settings. Not weird enough. Let's do something different. Stutter. Vibrato. Ring modulator. Q filter. Pitch shift. Step phaser. Yeah. Why not, right? Let's throw a delay on there. Analog, real echo, tape, and mod, and reverse. Let's do the real echo. Mod. I want to put the reverb before the delay. Let's check out what's on the reverb. It's a hall right now. Let's do mod. Full modulation. Crank up that pre-delay, and the decay, and the tone. Is this a good tone? Did I come up with the tone that everyone's going to use as they're always on? Let's put that dynamic after the drive. Oh, something is farting out there. I told you you could get in trouble with it. What am I doing? I'm just noodling. let's go to a different setting. Actually, we'll just circle around to the preset on there. Let's look at some of the other stuff that you can do in the app here, because this is, just part of it. There's so much more that you can get into here. You've got your global settings, you've got the built-in tuner, which I used earlier. You have a drum machine, which is a lot of fun to play around with. A bunch of different settings on here: pop rock, slow rock, rock shuffle, rock ballad. You get the point. There's a punk setting. We'll leave it on punk and see what that sounds like. Let's change the speed a bit. You get the point. You can have a drum track to play along with. What else do we have here? You've got chord charts, if you want chord charts. Go back. You've got a mixer for your Bluetooth, your USB out, guitar, and main out. A looper. Loopers are an awesome tool to have, a learning tool, a songwriting tool. But if you're going to use the looper with the GTRS, I really strongly recommend getting the foot switch. It's an extra thing to buy, I know. It's like 50 or 60 bucks, I think. I could be wrong on that, but it makes the looper so much more functional because you don't have to rush to the app with your hand and hope that you press the button at just the right moment. You can control it with your feet. You can also scroll through your presets and everything like that with the foot switch as well as turning on the tuner and everything else. What else do we have here? Standby mode, Bluetooth settings, language, and software version. And here are all your settings for this foot switch so you can dial it in just how you like. So anyways, it's a fun system. I think it's a smart system. I think there's a lot of potential here for creativity and for creative uses and utility uses on stage or at home or just jamming on the couch and stuff like that with, the amp and cab settings and whatever presets you can cook up. But at the core of it, I'm really impressed with just the guitar itself. It's really well made. It feels great. The pickups sound great. I love how it came set up. This trim is dialed in exactly how I want it to be dialed in. I'm gonna have to go attack other guitars that have this bridge and try to reproduce the way this bridge is dialed in. But yeah, it plays great. It feels great. It looks great. You get a fun flamey neck with the P-800 version. And they did it. $140 more and you get locking tuners, you get a premium roller string tree, you get the flamey neck, you get the bridge that I like a lot better, you get somewhat noiseless singles. They're not fully noiseless, but they are quieter than the singles in the P-800. Not that those are loud, not that those have an unusual amount of single cycle hum, but these are definitely a little bit quieter, quite a bit quieter, not a little bit. Looks wise, I wish this came in this. I really do. I wish this came in the sparkle like this, but I do love a white Strat. There's something about a white Strat that has always been appealing to me. That's why I requested this color out of the available colors. So what do you guys think? What do you think of the system? What do you think about this guitar as a whole? I have a tendency to be pretty critical about built-in technology to things that need apps and stuff like that. I mean, this guitar is very likely to outlive the functionality of the app and stuff like that. You could always do modifications in the future when that day comes in 10, 20, 30 years, who knows how long, and just put a different pickguard on here or put a kill switch there or something like that. But as it is right now, for as long as that technology works and technology lasts, I think it's a fun system, and I think we're probably going to see more tech moving in this direction. Does that upset you? Does that give you hope for the future? Are we moving into a new, brighter, better future where guitars can potentially have all your effects and all your amps built into them? I don't know. You guys discuss it in the comments. So anyways, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, dislike, leave me rude and nasty comments. Support us on Patreon. Buy a shirt if you're naked. Huge thanks to Mooer for sending me out their other guitar, their other GTR here. They have a headless model that's coming out. Should I cover it? I don't own any headless guitars, and it's fan fret. I don't own anything like that at all. I don't have any real experience with guitars like that at all, but should I try it? Kind of feel like maybe I should try it, but I'm not totally sure yet. So tell me in the comments if I should try the headless fan fret version of the Mooer GTRS. And anyways, stay grounded. Bye everybody.